Do you know anyone, or maybe it's you, who says, well, if I'm going to do something, I go all in? Have you ever heard somebody say that, or have you been saying that? Hey guys, it's Coach Kelley here. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, hit the like button, and leave me a comment below. Here's what I found as a coach. The people who say, I go all in on something, typically they use that as an excuse not to do things. So wouldn't it be better if we just stopped saying that and just started doing things, and stop allowing that to be a roadblock or an obstacle for us to actually do the things that we know we should be doing or we want to do to get us closer to an end result that we'd like to have? Doesn't that make sense? So let's look at this, because this is just human nature, I believe. We want quick fixes. We want it now. And so we think the idea of going all in on something creates a quick fix. So for instance, if I decide I'm going to get fit and I find Andy Frisella's 75 hard, and I say, okay, this is it. I'm going to do 75 hard. I'm going to start Monday. I'm going to do it for 75 days, right? Well, the reality is that I would love to see statistics on this, but the people who aren't fit, who don't already have exercise as a regular, consistent routine built into their schedules already, typically those people are not going to make it through 75 days in 75 hard. So my guess is that the majority of people who like to try 75 hard, who aren't already taking care of themselves and doing, all the different things that help you progress, then the likelihood of them finishing that is slim to none. As a matter of fact, I see people on Facebook all the time say, oh, I'm going to do 75 hard. Who's with me? I'm starting on Monday, right? We'll hold each other accountable. And they never make it. Like I see posts for like the first week and then it just drops off and they stop talking about it. It's because they failed. That's what I want to talk about in this video, is that oftentimes this go all in, I'm going to go all in, I'm going to do 75 hard. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So what does work versus going all in? I'll tell you what works is consistency. So instead of doing something like 75 hard, if I decided to lose weight, maybe I could just walk for 15 minutes a day and make that a habit of mine and remain consistent with it. And then over time, when I get used to that and maybe I lose some weight and I feel better and have more energy, then I may actually add something else to my routine. But it takes consistency. I had a coaching call the other day and I heard this term once again. I've heard it many times. It's like, when I do something, I go all in. But the reality is that is an excuse not to do things that you should be doing on a regular basis anyhow. So instead of going all in, what if we could just build into some consistency into our lives? And now, when it comes to going all in, we also want to look at this. This is, I think, what stops people, is because when they say go all in, what they're talking about is I take things to the extreme, right? And going to the extreme with anything, think about it. I mean, you can drink too much, or you could drink in moderation. You can work on your business way too much, or you can work on your business in moderation. You can exercise too much, or you can exercise in moderation. Moderation is always going to win over the long term. Just remaining consistent is always going to get you further and farther the fastest. You might be able to drop 20 pounds really quick if you decided to do something like 75 hard, but is that going to be consistent? Are you going to remain consistent, or are you just going to balloon back up as soon as it's time to take a break because you're whooped because you did 50 days straight and you're exhausted at this point? Or you're sick, because I believe that 75 hard, a lot of times people get sick when they do that because they destroy their immune system. So especially when you're not used to it, or you're not used to living a healthy lifestyle. So instead of going extreme, it's the same with your business. For instance, like if I want to grow my business, I can go extreme at the cost of everything else in my life, at the cost of my health. It's just like stress, right? Like if I go if I overstress myself to the extreme, that's not healthy. But some stress is healthy. Stress in moderation is healthy. It's a driver. It's going to make you do what you need to do to get further ahead in life. But if we're going to take it to the extreme, it's very unhealthy, and it will make you sick, and it will bring you to a stop. an emergency stop, quite like, most likely. So if we take anything to the extreme, we can get to the point where we have no control. Well, that's the exact opposite of what coaching is and what the goal is for your business, for your life, for your relationships, for your health, for your finances. The goal is to gain control, to gain agency of your life, to be able to be the captain of your own ship, to be able to drive this boat wherever you want it to go, or this race car wherever you want it to go. So the difference between consistency, moderation, and that's remaining the driver in your life versus going all in, being extreme, and having no control. So think about what it is that you know you need to do, but you're not doing because you use the excuse of, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to go all in. Take a sliver of what that thing is and just get consistent doing that one thing. That could be eating less. It could be having focused attention on the needle moving activities in your business. And just build up some consistency doing those things. And if you do that, then you're going to get results. If you're extreme, you might take a little jump ahead of some of your friends or your colleagues, but it's not going to be sustained. That's why a lot of people, business owners, they will just drive their business into the ground. They'll build this thing up and then they light a match and just watch it burn to the ground because they took it too extreme and they lost control. And the rest of their life falls in shambles. And so when they finally wake up and say, well, I need to fix all this stuff, well, then their business burns down. It's all about consistency. Consistency is your friend. Consistency is the key to getting anything you want in life. Do it in moderation. There are going to be seasons too. There's going to be seasons to where you do maybe go all in on your business for 3 months at a time. And then you're going to take a break at the end of that, so that you have a little bit, you bake some moderation into it so that you can remain consistent. Consistency is the key. You have to remain consistent. And you have to remain the driver. If you lose control, things get out of control. And oftentimes it's not going to get in, if it gets out of control, you're not going to continue to get the results that you actually want in your life. So I've got some resources down in the description section of this video. Be sure to check those out. Free resources, check them out. That will help you gain more control, to build some consistency, to build momentum in your life. And if you can just hang on to that momentum, I'm telling you, your life can become unstoppable. So that's what I do. I help people build that momentum and remain in momentum. And their confidence grows, their results grow, their income grows, their business grows, everything changes for them. So if you're interested in that, be sure to reach out to me. I'll also put a link in the description to reach out to me for that. I do workshops all the time, so I'd be happy to have you. I would be delighted to have you as a guest on my workshop to show you a system, because you're going to fall to the level of your systems, period, all the time. End of story. If you don't have current systems that keep you in momentum, that keep your confidence building, that keep your behavior on track, then that's when things get out of control and you just lose control. And if you lose control, you lose progress. And progress is the key to feeling fulfilled in life. So get consistent, keep yourself fulfilled in life and happy. And I can show you how to do that. So I'll see you on the next video. This is your moment.